Because of their sins, I destroyed my house, the Beit HaMikdash, and I burnt my sanctuary, and I had to exile them to the nations of the world. All right, so hear the voice of a dove saying that. The Maharsha just speaks out that earlier we said Hashem roars like a lion. Okay, here. Maharsha says that the reason is because this is some sort of a bat call of a nevuah, and as the generations go down, we are less connected to Hashem to be able to hear what's happening in Shamayim, and the voice went from the roar of a lion, but now all they were able to hear it as is like a little bird's, chirp. And he told me, Elianavi told me, I swear, it's not just at this time that the bat call says this. Every day, 3 times, so to speak, the Shekhinah, Hashem says this. He said it's the beginning of each Mishmar. It's when Hashem says this, that woe to Klal Yisrael, that they don't have the Beit HaMikdash anymore. Not only at this time does Hashem say this, when Klal Yisrael goes into the shuls and the Beit Midrash, and they say, may his great name be recognized as a source of blessing. Hashem nods his head and says, fortunate is a king that they praise him in his house. Meaning, how fortunate would it be if I would be in the Beit HaMikdash and we would hear and we'd be able to praise Hashem in the Beit HaMikdash. What is there for a father that had to exile his children? And woe to the children that they had to be exiled from the Shulchan Abihim. So to speak, Hashem is saying how when he hears us say Hashem Rabban Barach, not only 3 times a day, whenever we say Hashem Amen Hashem Rabban Barach, Hashem says how amazing it could be, how much more of a connection to the Shekhinah we could have if we would be able to do this during the Beit HaMikdash.
We have an earlier source here that tells us the proper words. We don't do these words, and this is earlier than any other possible ones.
We say Hashem Rabba, right? That's what you think? Yeah.
Maybe Hashem is different.
Hagadol is the Hebrew word.
Hagadol is the Hebrew word, but the whole thing is Aramaic. So Rabba also means great. Same word as Gadol, but just
this is Eliyahu Navi telling him what Hashem is saying. Eliyahu Navi is saying that Hashem says every time we say Hashem Rabban Barach, Hashem says, we could have had this in the Beit HaMikdash. Like it's almost like mourning over the fact that we don't have the Kedusha, the connection to Hashem. So Tosafot just speaks out that there's 2 interpretations how to say Hashem Rabban Barach. He brings down a shita that says Yeheh Shem Yudkeh. Yeheh Shemeh means the name Yudkeh. Rabbah should be great. Yeheh Shemeh Rabbah. Yeheh Shem Yudkeh Mevarach should be the source of blessing. And then there's another statement of Mevarach la'alam la'amaya.
There's a dagesh in hey, Yeheh Shemeh.
Hashem Shelo. So Tosafot says some say that that's the definition of Yeheh Shemeh. Yeheh Shem Yudkeh Mevarach, comma. Yeheh Shemeh, excuse me. Yeheh Shem Yudkeh Rabbah. The Shem of Hashem should be great. And then another thing is Mevarach, we should also recognize that Hashem is a source of beracha. It says from this Gemara, you see that's not the interpretation because it says Yeheh Shemeh Hagadol Mevarach. It's not saying Yeheh Shem Hashem, the name of Hashem should be Gadol, should be Rabbah. That's not what it's saying. It's an adjective. Yeheh Shemeh Hagadol, right? The name of Hashem should be Mevarach. It's one big sentence, like he's saying, Yeheh Shemeh Hagadol. Yeheh Shemeh Rabbah. The great name of Hashem should be Mevarach. It's not 2 separate sentences. Right? You could put a comma after Hagadol. Yeheh Shem Hashem Hagadol. The fact that we say Hagadol, we see it's not at the end of a sentence. Okay, fine. Tanu Rabbanan. Braita says, the following 3 reasons you shouldn't walk into a deserted home. Reason number 1 is haddad, suspicion. She says, 7 lines on the bottom, Shelo yomru zona muchenet lo sham. People shouldn't say, why is he walking into an abandoned house out there? He's got to be, he's probably doing something wrong in there, walking in alone like that. So a person shouldn't walk in so people don't think that he has a zona in there. Yeah, that's everything. Number 2 is mipnei mapolet, because there's a physical sakanat nefashot, the thing might collapse, deserted house. Number 3 is mipnei mazikin, because of shedim. There's shedim that live apparently in deserted houses, and you shouldn't walk in because it's these half human, half spiritual things could cause a person harm. Now, mipnei hashad. First one. No. So now the Gemara just says 3 reasons. It sounds like each of the reasons is an independent reason, and each reason is needed. So the Gemara says, hashad. First reason is because we're concerned that there's people are going to think there's a zonah there prepared for you in there. So the Gemara says, what do you need that reason for? Why don't we just say you can't walk into the hurbah because it might collapse? What do you need the reason of hashad? You always have the reason of mapol that it might collapse. So why was it necessary for us?
Dirty.
That's the answer. What do we need the reason of hashad? You always can't walk into a hurbah. The thing might collapse and you might die. What do you have to tell me? Oh, don't walk in because it looks like you might be going with the zona. You have mapolet. You have that reason. Yamana said no. Haddad. If you're talking about a newly desolate, destroyed or desolate house. If it's a new one, it's still structurally sound. Just an abandoned house. Person shouldn't be walking in there because then people are going to say maybe he's doing something with the zona. Okay, what do you need the reason of hashad? You also have the reason of mazikin. You always have the problem of the mazikin. So what's the point of saying don't walk in because of zona hashad? Right? What do you need to say with the reason of hashad? You always have the reason of mazikin. When I says bitre, we're going with 2 guys. If 2 people walk in, they're protected from the mazikin. So if 2 people walk in, they're protected from the mazikin. It's a new destroyed house, so there's no mapolet, no concern that it's going to collapse. So you only have the problem of hashad. You don't have the problem of mazikin with 2 people.
No, because 2 people.
2 people.
I thought you have 2 boys and 1 girl. It's not.
No, 2 boys is good. No yichud, 2 men and 1 woman.
Right.
Unless we're going to see, unless they're perutzim.
Right. Okay.
Right.
So
2 guys.
The issue now of the mazikin.
2 people takes care of mazikin, and the fact that it's new takes care of the problem of so now I only have the reason of hashad. Hashad, right? We're assuming I do have the reason of hashad.
Why can't we just say it's also because of the reason that he's going in? That's the other 2 aren't reasons for them going in.
3 reasons why you shouldn't go in.
Why can he say he's just going to pray?
Well, 3 reasons. No, you shouldn't go in. He said don't go in. There's 3 reasons why you shouldn't go in.
Because what is the first one is
He's actually going to get in.
Yeah.
hashad is
I knew you couldn't get out of the board with this one. I was thinking in my mind, you're definitely going to use the board for this one. Huh? You need all 3.
hashad is the marid ayin is fine.
What about
Because he's gonna
people don't want
But they're gonna be suspected.
Boy,
Yes.
there's 2 guys and 1 girl.
There's no girls.
You
said there's a girl.
But they're suspected.
I shot his 2 guys are more not women. Gays. You think about 2 guys going to gay. Yeah.
Suspicion.
Yeah.
No.
He's saying they're going
It's all moral character.
They're going to that 2 G's
Oh, look at the next incident, Gemara. It says because of low moral character.
Yeah. Zona.
No women, just men. Teach that 2 such men not. Yeah, it says it black and white. Read. Gemara answers.
Read number 3.
We don't have
Did
all
you see a woman.
No,
maybe a
read
little-
number 4.
Don't bring the guy to the class.
Yes.
Especially if he's a Democrat.
I don't think it could be. Can't
Not
imagine.
about the men. It's not
So
that religious.
Yeah,
You
you
know,
can't.
that's what they don't.
We don't bring it up.
Yeah.
Chances.
I think it's too low moral character, man. They see 2 guys walking into a abandoned building. Think about it.
Even no, but then says even 10 men are not trusted.
With 1 woman.
Yeah,
It's not because they're gonna.
they're gonna
Okay.
You don't. Wow. Two girls, one
So
man.
don't go to about the following three reasons: hashad, mapolet, and mazikin. Zona, it's gonna collapse. Mazikin. So Gemara says, "What do you mean the reason of hashad? You always have the reason of mapolet." Answer: in a new chutbah, you don't have mapolet. What do you need the reason of hashad? You always have the problem of mazikin. Answer: two guys. Two guys. Gemara then questions that and says, "But today, if you're talking about two guys, hashad namileka, then there's also not going to be a hashad." So if the case, but you don't have mapolet and mazikin, if it's two guys in a new house, you're also not going to have the problem of hashad.
Why?
So when's a scenario where I only have the problem of hashad?
Why are you not gonna have the problem with Hashad with two guys?
Two guys and one girl, we're not concerned. They're going to
There's two girls.
No yichud with two men and one woman.
One guy.
Yeah, but there could be two girls in there.
Because then the guy can convince both girls. Two guys and one girl.
What if they take turns?
What if there's
Nah,
two
what-
girls?
what- I
I
don't
knew it.
understand.
I knew it wasn't going to go.
I'm not trying to be a wise
We're
guy.
not concerned that the guys are doing avera in front of the guy. The men should do that. We don't have that.
Okay.
This day and age, maybe I don't know what. But so then, if it's two guys, and that's why there's no mazikin, then they should be able to go and complete it. There's no hashad. So what's the case where you only have one?
Is that what you say?
No, it did.
There's a logic situation here. Doesn't, Rabbi said doesn't come in.
Why can't there be two girls inside?
What?
Rabbi Lou said with lots of.
Two girls are inside.
Rabbi
It's a
Tal said
house
with
that
lots of-
has that.
Even two guys and two girls are not equal. Because once it's two guys, they're together. One guy's gonna protect the other guy, not
Who
to
said
do that.
he
It's gonna be
I
married.
think it's a logic situation.
I never heard that. It's always a girl.
Why is it a girl?
I don't know. I never heard that in my life. That it was a lot. It could be. I just never
Why it
heard.
has to be a girl?
No, but say two guys
So
are allowed to go.
allowed to go in there.
Yeah, but not read the next line.
Oh, so now the Gemara says, but today upritzi.
Low
You have
moral
two
character.
low, yeah, you have two niche guys.
That's
So
a
if it's
problem.
two guys that are low character,
Yeah.
and they walk in.
Wait,
Loads of
Then-
because it's on now.
Then
Then we're concerned about this or not. We're concerned. Why are you walking into two guys walking
Wait,
into
so they'll take turns.
Right.
Not far off.
So the illustration
I'm
is
holding.
one guy that
I'm
walks
holding.
into the Zonai doesn't have low character.
Because they'll
Correct.
take turns.
One guy will always concerned, even if you're high character.
They're low
But we're
character.
saying that's not a low character guy. One guy that walks in with the go to the Zonai is not a low character guy.
Even if he's a good guy, we're concerned he's gonna do avera. Even if he's a good guy, we're concerned he's gonna do avera. But then we said no. Why is there no mazikin? Oh, there's two guys. Okay, there's two guys. There's no problem with chashad. When they're two low lines,
Yeah.
then it's
Yeah. No. Alone in the, I don't know why you're going, but anyway.
We have two guys, and you still need one of the teachings. What's the teaching? Low moral character.
Hey, what?
Hey, we all get riled up when we get crazy.
I like
I don't know, Rabbi, I think it was a case situation.
Wake up.
Nobody wants to talk about it.
No, but also, but
Nobody wants to talk about it.
No, you're reading into something that doesn't need to be there. It could be a girl in there. Could be. That's all.
I tell you read from
Could be else. Also, it makes more sense, like, with the Zonah, desolate house, L6 is the high meanest.
She's not
They want
scared of
a hotel.
Mazikin herself.
They don't
know
want
she
a hotel. Yeah, they want a hotel. Zonot, they used to this chaburas. Huh? Well, how would I know? I know. I was always afraid of Mazikin.
okay.
You knew some girls that looked like Mazikin.
So when you only have the problem of hashad, we got the answer. It's a new building and two perusim walking. New building, no mapolet. Two people, no mazikin, but two perusim, you have the hashad.
But I thought we said two people. Oh, if they're low character, because we said if there's two people, we don't have chashad.
Right, when they're prutza.
When they're fruits, that's the only time. Yeah.
Okay. Next one, mipna mapolet. We have the second reason is mapolet. So the Gemara wants to know when do you only have the reason of mapolet? You always have these other reasons, 1 and 3 also.
No, it's a new structure.
But when you only have the reason of mapolet, why is that a necessary reason to say mapolet? Oh, you're also gonna have the reason of mazikin, or you're gonna have the reason of chashad. So you need that reason.
Whole building.
And I don't need to give you this reason because I'm always gonna have other reasons also. So like, what's the point of telling me this reason? Is there ever a case where you only have?
Let's say it's an open structure. Let's say it's an open structure.
That's two people.
Let's say there's just the roof, and it's all open, and you can't see the facade.
When is it only a problem?
Old building, obviously, with two people.
Why can't also?
Unless you're saying like.
Hashad is the reason why you're going to the building.
You don't know that.
Okay.
It's no expected reason why. So you have
That's why you
to,
shouldn't walk.
you have to have that. That's why that's the reason. That's isolated. Paul's not a reason he goes in. He's not
Roof is gone.
When he really goes to me, he goes, like, dude, it's a roof, bro. Like, he's so serious. Like, he really thinks I call it. I don't know. It's called a roof. Like, he went and goes, dude, it's a roof, bro. You know?
Whispering. Not too
I
bad.
can handle it. But yeah,
Okay.
but what if it's an open thing? It's a desolate house anyways. What if there was just the whole thing is open, so the chashad can't hide?
Oh, you think it's open, so there's no chashad. Okay, fine. And why is there no? You have the reason maziki. Don't walk in for maziki.
Oh, there would be like.
You asked about the first one, the second one.
When do you only have this reason?
No, you said why do we need this reason?
But meaning when you
need it on its own.
Right, what do you need on its own? Right.
The question in the Mishnah, why you need all three of them? You only need one. One out of the three. I said, no, in this scenario, you need this one. This scenario, you need this one.
High morals. Two guys are high morals.
Nice.
What's one now?
Typically, Mishum Hashad Mazikim, why do you have reason 1 and 3? So the Gemara answers, Betre vekeshere. If there are two kosher guys, you have two good guys.
Yeah.
Two good guys.
Yeah, like the story.
You're allowed to walk into a deserted house. You're allowed to walk into a churba, right? If there's no hashad, there's no mazikin, the only concern would be mapol.
But the
That's
story
the case.
was.
It's two
But
good
how can we
guys.
say that? How can we say that? The story was that he waited outside for him.
You're asking how
could we say that two moral guys? You just had two moral guys. One guy, this other rabbi that went in, and Eliyahu and Abi waited outside for him. He didn't go in.
Right.
So how could you say two moral guys? They're not two moral guys?
No, two moral guys don't have reasons 1 and 3. They only have reason 2.
They still have
Fallen.
They're falling.
But I got a new structure house, two moral guys.
What?
New structure house, two moral guys.
New structure.
Go
Okay. What do you say about that?
Go
New
in.
structure, two good
I
guys.
have no issue going.
But he didn't go in.
Go in there.
He didn't go in.
Not deserved.
Eliyahu and Abi waited outside for him.
Newly destroyed house.
What do you mean?
It was one guy.
But there was a guy in there already.
What do you
He
say?
was
That?
waiting to give him, they were teaching to review.
Why is
But it
that?
doesn't matter. But why didn't he go in with him?
Should have went in to follow him.
That should prove to you that two more guys with a good structure can't go in.
Was a good structure.
Yeah. There's still
No,
been
we say it was a good structure, we just said it was a thing.
Yeah, we didn't say it was. No, that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't prove to you that two more guys.
Two kosher
can't
guys,
go in.
and the Gemara's gonna say
Even
it
with
was
a
a
good
key.
structure.
Two good guys.
Even with a good structure,
a good
can't go in.
structure can't go in. Why not?
Because the story, he didn't walk in.
But it's also one guy.
It's
No,
deserved.
he told him you shouldn't have walked in.
I know, but why didn't he walk in and tell him that? He waited outside for him to come out.
Right. Okay. So
So you can't learn anything from there?
But he went in to pray also.
he went into prayer. Right? He didn't want to disturb him.
Pray.
He said, they didn't want to go. Well, after he walked out, he told him you're not supposed to walk into it. You're one guy. You're not supposed to walk in.
So then it couldn't be a good structure. That the house couldn't be a good structure because then he would have walked in.
Right. So I have
No.
to see that Bnei Yeshua asks that. Why is he walking in? What about
He
the fact that it might collapse?
It must have been good.
So he said it must have been it was a strong structure.
Well, he clearly didn't know the rule either, so that's not true.
No, I'm talking about Eliyahu and Abi.
Right. He didn't know. Yeah, but Sakaran Fashot, he didn't know. He didn't know that thing might
The
collapse.
fact that it's called Korban would indicate that it was not a.
Like there was a
strong
big
structure.
No, Churban just means it's
A rune.
right. It could be a,
Doesn't mean like
structurally sound, desolate house.
Mazikim, that's all.
Right. So he didn't know about the mazikim. Eliyahu Navi told him you're not supposed to go in for the mazikim. As Bnei Yeshua speaks out, when he walked in, he saw it was a new one. He knew about Hashad, but he felt that he said, I don't want to pray on the road, he says, because people are going to bother me. and I'm not gonna be able to have kavanah. So he felt that reason should override the reason of people are gonna suspect me of hashad. So he went in, but he didn't know about the reason of mazikin. He told him it's mazikin also.
Gotta worry
Even
about
so,
it.
you shouldn't have went.
You also can't say like I mean, he's on the road, and he's looking around.
Nobody's
There's nobody there. It's not like the streets are flooded, like, there's no one there.
He's on the road.
Okay, 3.
Okay, good. So when do you only have the reason of mapolet? If it's 2 kosher guys. No chashad, no mazikin, only mapolet. Beauty. Last question. Mipnei mazikin, what do you need the reason of mazikin? Tebuklim b'na hashad umapolet. You always have the reason of hashad umapolet.
Right, new structure.
It's deserving.
High moral guys.
That's what I asked.
But how could there be no chashad?
So the Gemara first answers as behurba hadati. It's a new structure.
Right.
Okay, good.
New rule.
Ubetrei v'ksheri, and it's 2 kosher guys.
But we said no mazikin with
You
two
can't
guys.
say that.
We say 2 guys, no mazikin.
You can't say that. You're on the road. Nobody knows if they're kosher guys.
Still mazikin.
You're talking about marit
It's
ayin.
dessert always has an issue.
2 guys are still mazikin.
No?
Oh, here he is.
No, on the
He's
road?
saying
No?
people don't know that you're.
Nobody knows who these people are. They're on the road.
It's also
Marit
hashad.
ayin, it seems like we don't give anybody the benefit of the doubt. Soon they go to Zonah.
Yeah.
Assume the worst for everybody.
So when do you only have mazikin? So Gemara wants to answer it. It's a new one
Big lesson, you gotta
and it's 2 kosher guys.
really be concerned of what people think about you.
Even upstairs, we said, right, we're learning marit ayin. We're suspecting everybody to be Michael Shabbat.
You know, you're going in to do the right thing. You're a tzaddik. You're going to pray. In your mind, you think you're doing the right thing,
But yeah,
but in reality,
people
you're
don't
doing
know
the wrong.
Zonah.
You're doing the wrong thing.
But you're not doing the right thing.
Right, you're doing the wrong thing. In your own mind, you think you're doing the right thing.
No.
You are. You're giving people a chance to think that you're going with a prostitute.
Right.
Well, you're doing
Rabbi, so
wrong.
3 people would be on my side. Is that what they're doing?
Perutzim, no. Perutzim, you always have. He was saying, when is it only mazikin? When it's 2 kosher guys, it's new. Okay, we got it new. And it's 2 kosher guys, there's no chashad.
I thought we said mazikin doesn't work with 2 people.
Right.
Oh, okay, good. That's next Gemara's question. Gemara's if it's 2 people, mazikin amileka. There's no problem of mazikin either. If you're talking about 2 kosher guys, that's why there's no chashad, and it's a new one, therefore no mapulak, but then it's also no mazikin. So when do you only have the reason of mazikin? It's 2 kosher guys, you're allowed to walk in now.
When one of them is bad and one of them is good.
One of them is bad.
Never heard that.
No, then you have hashad. Why?
The good one's gonna check on the bad one.
Nice.
No, the good one will prevent the bad guy from doing it.
I know the good guy, the bad guy will convince the bad good guy for doing the other thing.
It's true.
Okay.
Sure.
So the Gemara says, interesting answer. It says, Bimkoman Haishina. If you're in the spot where it's known the Mazikin love that spot, you got to be concerned even if you're 2 people. I have no idea.
It's where
Yeah, there's a Gemara.
No idea how you know. But if it's the hangout, that churba is like, that's the spot they love going, then
It's crazy. It's really like a prevalent thing. Like, it's really like. It's crazy.
Rambam says they don't exist today.
Okay, but
yeah.
then, I mean, it
So the
sounds like
Benish
it's really a thing.
also said nowadays, they don't really exist anymore. So that's
Brazil.
Yeah, we can talk about that. But not even a couple of
chicken
dollars.
legs.
Now the powder around the bed.
So wait, so new guys, 2 kosher guys.
You'll never sleep again.
Yeah, I don't think this stuff. I don't
Let me hear about
Where
that.
they
Yeah, I heard that.
My sibling, someone, fortune on that.
what they did.
The black cat.
Flower.
Have a mother with a black cat.
Powder, whatever.
That black cat.
Imprints.
No, once you put it, no matter how many. If they put it, it doesn't make a difference how many guys. No, it's a problem. They did it?
Yeah, supposedly they did. No, my sister didn't do it.
One guy did it.
What they do?
No, about putting
It's
flour,
Stevie-
powder,
Stevie-
something
Stevie-
around
what's
the
his name?
bed.
What's his name?
Remember
Rabbi?
hearing about it.
Somebody pranked them.
Maybe about the guy that did
That happened.
Bibi Abare, what's his name? No, Bibi, something Bibi. Rabibi, what's his name? Rabibi.
Well, when I tried it,
No, Rabibi is his name. That's his name.
Okay.
yeah, Rabbi Baraba, yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay.
Final answer is
He yelled at him, right? No, thank God after he did it because he didn't work. It did work, but he didn't hurt the person that he wanted to hurt.
Okay, second answer how you can only have mazikin. The Gemara says, really you could say it's one guy. It's one guy, hadati, and it's a new place of ruin. So wait, so one guy. So there is mazikin.
All right.
It's a new one, no mafolet.
All right.
And
So we know it's empty.
the Gemara says it's no chashad dekai bedavra. You're out in the fields, in the open.
So yes.
Tahata mishum hashad leka. There's no concern that you're going with a zona because daha isha bedavra lo shchicha, because it's not common for women to be out in the fields. I guess there's nobody there. Umishum mazikin ika, and there is the problem with mazikin. So the second answer, how we could say is only mazikin, is if it's talking about a new building.
One guy down in the.
One guy, but he's in the fields. So you don't have these two, you only have mazikin. Answer one or answer two.
We need a second answer because why? They don't like the first one because it's why?
Well, the first one's saying we're only talking about a specific scenario, maybe.
I don't like the
Only
second answer.
in a case where it's been command, that's when we said.
Why? What you said, it's like no, you said no roof, no roof. It's
Yeah, the
open.
roof, it's open, but
So no,
but if the guy could find it, the zona could find it.
no, I think it means it's open. You could see that he's not doing anything. I think it's wide open.
It says the woman, I don't know if zonot don't go to the fields. Maybe there's no business there. I have no idea.
Open field.
Oh, I
I
had
have
it as open, like window. You can see nothing's going on. You see
General women don't go.
No, I know they don't go to open field.
No, and one guy. in field.
Is there a structure there? Is there a structure in the field?
Yes, it's a desolate house.
Yitzhak
out
Avinu
in
came from a
the,
field.
out in the fields. The zonot don't hang out of there. So no, you don't have to worry.
You prayed in the field.
You wouldn't have to worry about zona, about the issue of zona. If you're out.
Why are you trying to prove it? So,
Only problem is
No, that there's no mazikin there.
Is it because they hung out in the city like where there was people that was flying inside?
that's what I understood.
Because there's nobody there. You need foot traffic.
So there's no concern. The guy's walking into in Texas in the field. He's going out. He's out there. Why are we concerned? This is zona waiting there.
Oh, it's no business or it's open for people to see?
No, I think it says lo shricha. They're not commonly found there. I don't know if it means woman in general or if it means zonot. How does article say? Woman or zonot? No woman go in the field.
Woman.
It's a woman.
Is it this woman or like any?
I guess the zona would only go where other women would
A
be.
woman is not commonly found alone in the fields.
So that could be the pshat that they're learning. They're learning just they don't like going in the fields. Out. Who knows what's gonna happen?
I think because they were banished to deserted places.
Okay, wait. So just recap. 3 reasons. When do we only have the first reason? Let's see if we're gonna do this. When do you only have hashad? If say it's a new building. 2 people. If 2 people.
Or low line.
Too low, right? Too low lines. Fine. When do you only have mapolet?
The building is not structurally sound.
Only mapolet. If it's not structurally sound, 2 people, okay, and 2 kosher people. 2 kosher people. And you only have mapolet. And this one's a little complicated. When you only have mazikin,
Alone in the fields.
alone in the field,
Or even
so
2
you know
people.
hashad and a new one.
Or even 2 people in new structure.
2 people, new
No,
structure.
2
So why is
people
there
in
mazikin?
Mazikin. No, you don't.
Bimkoman. It's a spot where it's an extra special hangout of the shit.
No, I don't like that.
That
Well, you said it
happens.
was, you know they're there?
Transylvania.
Yeah, I don't know. Some
Hang
point
out in
says,
Transylvania.
Why would 2 more people go there? Why would 2 more people go there?
To pray though, on the
They
road.
want it. I don't know, they take the
No,
chances.
okay, you're praising them and then they know that they're there, they're gonna go there?
Because they said with 2 people, the Mazikin can't get us.
And they were telling us.
But they're
that
wrong
not
because
to
it's
do
their
that.
That's
house.
only if there's
You
a
go
law.
into their house.
You're traveling on the road.
I want to go pray in the pond.
They can't, honey.
No rough.
Yalla, next button, next
Yeah,
button.
next.
Let's go. Rabbanan.
Wait, can we explain why Eliyahu and I be waiting by the door, waiting to finish? There's all action here.
You
I
have
don't
some
know.
basic waited by the door. They say they don't want to interrupt you. You shouldn't interrupt somebody when they're praying.
So even though he's praying in the wrong spot, doing the wrong thing, he waited for
Finish
it.
the praying.
Also good lesson.
Yeah. Even if you have to tell them something.
And where do you get
Okay.
the Heshemet Abba thing from? First he's saying Hashem, Hashem mourns the Bet HaMikdash. And he goes, by the way, when people answer Kaddish, Hashem is happy. And then, by the way, back to the other thing, he's mourning that he kicked the Jews out of that Hamikdash.
Well, I'm saying the voice that he heard was Hashem, talking about how we don't have a Beit Hamikdash anymore. So he says, by the way, not only then does Hashem, so to speak, say that.
Right,
also
Right,
says
but then he went
Hashem.
positive, and they went back to the negative again.
After everything Hashem did, destroyed the Beit Midrash,
Yeah.
exiled the Jews, people were getting slaughtered. We still come to the Beit Midrash and the Beit Knesset, we still say Yehi Shemei Rabbah.
So he's starting with depressing and going in the middle to something good that Hashem's happy we answer Kaddish, and then he's back to the destruction again.
Well, I mean, while we're answering Kaddish, it's also like saying what would be, what is, it's also like a mourning type of thing.
You could say
Like,
that
we would have been
also,
so much greater in the Beit Hamikdash.
Eliyahu Navi came to save him from the Mazikim.
He saved it from all three, maybe. Got rid of the Chashash because he's the second guy.
Yeah.
That's why
Rid of the
he came.
Mazikin is the second
Yeah.
guy.
And
He kept it
it was
up.
a good structure to begin with. He wouldn't have walked in.
Right.
He wouldn't have walked in if it was a bad structure.
That was already.
So he saved him from
Yeah.
that.
Nice.
Okay. Let's continue. We're gonna move. Tanu Rabbanan. Arba mishmarot havilayla divrei Rabbi Natan. Divrei Rabbi. Rabbi says that there are 4 mishmarot to the night. 4 groups of angels.
Contradiction.
Rabbi Natan Omer Shalosh. Rabbi Natan says there's 3 mishmarot, like our Mishnah, like Rabbi Eliezer held also there were 3 mishmarot. My Tamad Rabbi Natan. What's the reason for Rabbi Natan that he says that there are 3 mishmarot? Techtiv, because the pasuk says, "Vayabo Gidon u'mea ish asher ito b'ktse hamachane." Gidon came with 100 people that were with him to the edge of the camp. Rosh ha'ashmoret hatichona. At the beginning of the Ashmoret hatichona. What does tichona mean? Tana and tichona ela sheyesh lefanea v'le'acharea. Tichona means something where you have basically a middle, where it's the middle of 2 things that are the same size of it.
All equal.
That's how that it's about. The middle of 2 things which are the same length of it. So if I say the Ashmoret hatichona, it means the middle mishmar, and it means there's a mishmar before it and a mishmar after it.
Equal mishmar before, equal mishmar.
Right.
Very
So
good.
that means there's 3 mishmarot. So basically that's a proof that there's 3 mishmarot. Rabbi says, my tichona, what does it mean when it says tichona, the middle one? Echad min hatichona shebetichonot. It means there's a group of 2 that are both tichonas. You group them together. And it means one of the tichonot, one of the 2 tichonas, basically. You bring the two middle ashmonets in a group, and you think they're both a tichon because they both have a mishmar in the beginning and a mishmar in the end, and you have the 2 that are in the middle.
So it's hatichona. You're saying these. Making it plural, I'm confused.
One of the 2 tichonas.
Hatichona.
Yeah, how is he using it to make a definition of it?
Would it be my tichona? What does it mean? The tichona means one of the tichonas. What are you asking? Tichona sounds like there's only one.
The middle.
Yeah, as if there's. Yeah.
I mean, look at Rabbi Natan's answer. Rabbi Natan says, "Miktiv tichona shebetichonot." Does it say one of the tichonas among the tichonot? Tichona ktiv. It said that there's one middle. So he doesn't like Rabbi's deflection of his proof here. Okay, my Tamad Rabbi. What's the reason for Rabbi? Amar Rabbi Zerika, Amar Rav Ami, Amar Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi. He says, Katuv Echad Omer. One pasuk says, Hasot Laila Akum Leodot Lecha Amishpete Sitkecha. David HaMelech says that I wake up at Hatzot to praise you about your righteous judgment. Katuv Echad Omer. Another pasuk says, Kidmu Einai Ashmurot. That my eyes precede Ashmurot. So again, one pasuk says that I wake up at Hatzot. Another pasuk says that I wake up before 2 Ashmurot. Now, how's that possible? How can you wake up at Hatzot and still wake up before 2 Ashmurot? Hatzot's in the middle of the night.
Right, 119. They're both in 119.
I don't
One's
know.
in Kuf and one's in Chet.
Long
Yeah.
one. I think it's the other one.
Yep, you're right.
The one I skipped.
Huh?
Very long one.
So how can it be he wakes up at Hatzot and at the same time he wakes up before 2 Ashmurot? Must be, how's that possible? Arba Mishmarot Avilayla. Must be there's 4 Mishmarot. He wakes up in between
The second one.
at Hatzot, which is before 2 Ashmurot. If you learn there's 3 Mishmarot in the night, then if you're waking up at Hatzot, you're not waking up before 2 Ashmurot. You're waking up before
Or
1
one
and a
of
half
them is broken
Ashmurot.
up into 2.
That's a half.
He doesn't really.
Yeah, so he's considering that in part of one and the other one.
Okay, that's gonna be one of the answers to give it out, right? But simply, it's not. It's the middle of the night and before two Ashmurot. There's still two Ashmurot.
No,
to go.
the Ashmurot is not finished yet.
I hear what you're saying. You're saying it's
Middle.
before half of the
Before
Ashmurot.
one, yeah, doesn't matter. How would you say it? I woke up a half
In the middle of
one,
one
the
and
middle of
before
one
the
and
other
one
one.
left. So I have
Yeah.
1.5 left.
Yeah.
No, I have 2 left.
Okay.
Doesn't anything could happen in that watch. Doesn't matter when. It still counts as a watch.
Yeah, but it's not before it. Before half of it.
Before it was over.
I hear your answer, but I mean, the basic
If you don't
reading
like
is not
it,
like that.
you don't
Yeah, I'm
like it.
saying
No, you're
ideally
not.
I wouldn't like that answer. No, you like his answer? That before half of it counts as before.
Now
full
that
one?
you said you don't like it, then ask the
No,
question.
No, but I think it becomes the answer. But yeah, the simple reading
simple
is
reading.
if he woke up before the thing started. That's the simple reading.
Like right before.
I woke up before the
Before
2
two of them.
watches. You're making it before the first one ended and then the second one,
Okay.
but they end up
So-
going there. They have to go there.
First thing I'm asking you a different answer.
Just let the sun wake up.
Seems like there's 4 right now, the rabbi said.
Right, sounds like it's 4.
Sounds like it's 4.
So, but Rabbi Natan answers to this proof. He says, "Savar like Rabbi Yoshua." It looks like Rabbi Yoshua. It's not. Rabbi Yoshua says, "Ad shalosh shaot." He says we're allowed to say Kriyat Shema Shel Shaharit. We'll get there. We'll get back to the sugyot, but we're allowed to say Kriyat Shema Shel Shaharit up until the 3rd hour of the day.
Right.
Right? Why are we allowed to say Kriyat Shema Shel Shaharit up until the 3rd hour of the day? Because the kings begin waking up during the 3rd hour of the day. So they wake up, let's say the day starts at 6 a.m. They start waking up at 8 a.m., 8:01. That's the beginning of the 3rd hour. Okay, so they wake up in the 3rd hour of the day. So now we make a cheshbon. When David HaMelech said, I woke up before 2 Ashmurot, what he meant was, Shit Delelia, I woke up 6 hours of the night. There's still left of the night. I wake up at Hatzot, so there's still 6 hours to go till the morning. Vetarti di yamama, and there's still 2 more hours till the kings start waking up. So I wake up 2 Ashmurot's worth before a regular king. Regular king wakes up at the beginning of the 3rd hour. The regular king wakes up at the beginning of the 3rd hour. I wake up at Hatzot. How much time is there from Hatzot till the beginning of the 3rd hour? A lot of time. 8 hours. That's the length of 2 Ashmurot. According to the Rabbi Natan. So Rabbi Natan says, really, it is 3 Ashmurot. There are 3 Ashmurot in that. But the Rabbi Natan, he woke up at Hatzot and he woke up before 2 Ashmurot. It means he woke up before 2 Ashmurot's worth before the kings wake up.
That's crazy.
Well, I'm
That's crazy,
confused. I'm sorry. This is
Amazing how you go to
crazy.
One starts at 6 o'clock. First Ashmurah starts at 6 p.m. to 10.
So according to the Rabbi Natan, 6 to 10,
10
to
to
2,
2, and then 2 to 6.
2 to 6.
This
right.
guy, David HaMelech, wakes up at 12.
Right.
You're going to tell me, see, this 2 one each Ashmurah is 4 hours, and the kings start waking up at 8. Since he woke up at Chatzot,
He
it's 2.
called it, I woke up before 2 Ashmurot. In truth,
What's the difference between that and waking up in the middle of one and calling it the 2 Ashmurot? There's nothing.
No.
You're adding 2 hours because you're adding 2 hours.
Here he's saying I woke up the length of time of 2 Ashmurot before other Melachim.
No, because Ashmurah ends at 6.
I hear, but the length of time is 4 hours for an Ashmurah. And he's saying I woke up 2 Ashmurot's worth before a normal king wakes up. Normal king wakes up at 8 a.m. I wake up, right, we're doing a little move. Not actual.
Yeah, I woke
Ashmurah.
up 8 hours before the kings wake up.
Right, right. That's
So
basically what
that's
he's
a
saying.
proof that
Ashmurot's
that's a
worth.
proof. Okay.
So there's really 3 Ashmurot to the night, sticking to his gun, 3 Ashmurot to the night, and
Now he's
I'm
using
worth
it as a
about
length of time.
right.
Yeah, you need to measure.
Huh? Using, yeah, you know, measure.
Burn the roof.
On the rough.
Okay, last answer, and then I think we'll hold here, is the answer of Marco. Marco saying, Amar Rav Ashi Amar, Mishmara Upalga, Nami Mishmarot Karu Lehu. A mishmar and a half is also called
Watches.
2 watches.
It
Because I
makes
did
so
wake
much
up
sense. It makes so
before
much
2
sense.
watches,
It
before the
makes-
completion of the second one and before the full.
You
It
can
makes
define it any
sense.
which way you want now.
No, but the Rabbi says, no, the reading is, you woke up at Hatzot before 2 Ashmurot, that means the night consists of 4 Ashmurot. Then Ashmurot the Pisvakim, that's why it's
You don't wake up and say, I got a half a watch left.
Say, I
You
woke
wake
up.
up, I got an Ashmurah left, and then another one. You don't say, I got only 2 hours left of the
Say
first one.
you watch the second half of the game and you watch the game, the next game. You say I watched 2 games?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that
I
makes
watch
sense.
games.
That makes more
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, it does. I watched both
I watch
games.
both games.
I watched both games.
Yeah.
You
Like,
don't
I watched
say
the end of the
I
Ranger
saw
game
it,
last
yeah.
night. I saw only
Yeah.
10
I
minutes
saw
of it.
Yeah, exactly. I watched the game.
Yeah.
I saw it 2 games.
I like it, Reb.
But
I was trying to say it the other way.
you only watch the last 2 minutes of the quarter and then another quarter. I watched 2 quarters.
What?
But a basketball game, you watch 2 quarters now.
No, I watched the game.
Both you watch.
I watched the game. You call it a game.
No, but now you're dividing the game up into quarters now.
No, because that's still in one Ashmurah. That's different.
By the way,
2 quarters is one part of one Ashmurah. I'm not saying if you woke up in between one at the last Ashmurah, I say I woke up in between the last one.
It's the other way.
if softball goes 14 innings, we say we played like 2 games just now. 1 game, but it was 14 innings long. It's like 2 games.
Oh, you're saying the other
That's
answer.
the first answer. that he
What
gave
in
us.
the YSML
In the YSML, last year we said you guys played like 4 games then.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. When did they play? When did they play the YSML?
No, we gotta throw that in.
YSML. Eli Gindi also does that YSML.
Okay, quick vote.
Wow, boy.
Yeah.
Bye, say.
Okay, so we have the famous first pasuk in the Torah. It says, "Im bechukotai telechu." You walk in my ways. So then we have all the berachot in the parasha. Talks about if you keep the mitzvot.
Kishim?
Okay, so at the beginning of the parasha starts off with the famous pasuk, "Bechukotai telechu." If you walk in my ways, and then you're gonna have all the beracha to be able to continue keeping the Ratzon Hashem and eventually be zocheh to Olam Haba. And Rashi says, brings down the Midrash, what does it mean? "Bechukotai telechu sheteh amelim beTorah." To work, like you say, to toil in the Torah, to work on the Torah, and that's how we get the zechut of all of the blessings of the parasha. Now, Sefer Da'at Torah, he explains what the concept of Amelut BaTorah is. We usually look at Torah as what's a Talmid Chacham, what's a person that's doing the right thing, somebody that knows Torah. He amassed a lot of knowledge. Here we're seeing, Torah is telling us, that's not the scale that Hashem uses for a person. Rather, what Hashem's focusing on is the effort that a person puts in, the effort that you put in towards the Torah. Torah is a mitzvot, it's there. When we learn and we start knowing things, it's not that we're being mehadesh things, and now we're the scale is how much do I know or I don't know. Points to how much we connect to the Torah, how much amelut we have and work on understanding the Torah. Like Pirkei Avot says, one of the ways to acquire Torah is through amelut. That's how you get the Torah, through working. It doesn't mean working and therefore I know. It means the essence of amelut, the essence of the work itself. That's something that the Torah wants to be maknet, wants to give over to a person. That's the idea of amelut b'Torah. So just what is amelut and why is amelut so important? What is the concept of working on Torah? Why is it such an important concept? So usually if you ask somebody, what is bechira? What does it mean to have a free choice? What does it say? I do what I want. It's a free choice. I can do what I want. Yopian says that's not really a definition of free choice. Animals also do what they want. The definition of free choice is to do what I don't want. Right? Because if I could go against my desires, that's really what bechira is. It's when I have the choice to use my mind and decide to do something that I naturally wouldn't want to do. So amelut is that when you have time in learning where it wouldn't be my first choice to do this if you ask me about my physical interests, and I'm choosing to go and learn, I'm choosing to go beyond what I want to do, that's when you get the concept of amelut. Even if it's I get very technical and sometimes I can get dry and we have to chart it out and think about it. That's when you push that little next step. That's what we're talking about when I say amelut in Torah. Why is it so important? Why is amelut so important? Because when you start being amel in the Torah, then you start giving of yourself and doing more for the Torah than you would want to do. Like everyone knows, ahava is from the lashon of hav, to give. When you give to somebody, then you love it. So when you start giving of yourself and doing when you're not feeling like you want to do it, that's when you're really connected to Torah. That Chazal say a very strong line. That if somebody learns Torah just the prakim, you just learn Torah, it's interesting a few times here, there. You're treating the Torah has shalom like a zonah. But it's good for me and I'm enjoying, I'm going to do it. But otherwise, it could be that's what I'm doing. But if you learn the Torah, even when it's amelut, even when you have to work, then it's more like a marriage, and then there's more of a connection, and then you could start loving the Torah. Then the Torah could start, becoming part of you. Gemara Berachot, we'll see, says that the only way to be Koneh Torah is through some difficulties. And the Ben Ish Chai explains, because the only way to truly connect and to show that you're learning the Torah with the right head, the right mindset, is through doing it even when it's not so enjoyable and not everything is going perfectly. That's the way to really to connect to the Torah. And just to end, a friend, somebody told me they had a friend who was very wealthy, and they had the in-laws had a lot of money, and their parents had a lot of money, and they used to support them completely. So whenever the guy buys his wife a gift, it's really coming from them. It's nothing really. So at one point, he went and he started working. He was a learning guy. He started working, made a couple dollars. He wanted to make a few dollars. So somebody asked him, why you working? You have all the money you want. You're getting fully supported by your parents and in-laws. He said, I want to work for something, have something of my own, and to be able to give it to my wife, to feel like I'm giving something from myself to her, to build a connection. Otherwise, it's just a joke. So the idea of because that's really the only way we truly could connect to the Torah.
Baruch.